So
Cool.
let me go to my business page to share, reshare. Oh yeah, I meant to tell you to go there before because it's
Yeah,
gonna do a feedback.
yeah, yeah. I got you.
My bad.
Are you good? Everything good though?
Huh?
I say everything's good on your end.
Yeah, I'm still searching. I ain't sure it yet. My bad.
Are you good? And I do the same thing on my end as well. We good.
Hey, Chloe. You say you can't see the comments, huh?
I can't see nothing.
Oh my
We're
goodness.
gonna go
Okay,
with it.
okay. So we have a person that she spoke said, "Hey, y'all." Okay, so I do not see who is on here. Those who saw a panel before, you kind of know the routine. Ask your questions for our guests. Put your comments in the screen. Share the live. Tag some people in. Those who do not follow him already, I do have his link in the caption, so you can always follow him after the live is over or at a later time if you're feeling him and what he's saying. Um, but we got him for about 45 minutes, y'all. So run them questions up on him. Use him, use him, use him. Let's go ahead and get started. So you can't see anything that's on the screen. So I'm gonna post it on the screen for our guest that's watching, but I'll just read it off to you so you know the flow. So go ahead
Cool,
and give everybody an introduction.
cool, cool. Well, I go by Brandon. No, but I'm Brandon Smith Senior. Father, son, friend, brother, coach. Slash entrepreneur. I kind of jump into some different avenues. I think I'm at that point in life now where I'm just trying to see what's for me. So we're just trying different things. Still punching the clock every day, trying to find my way outside of that realm.
Right.
That's pretty much where I'm at. I kind of stay busy on the focus on being a parent most of the time and coaching little league football, do those different things on top of my life, my personal life, my everything. So just trying to find a balance in it all. And I'm glad you reached out to me. I think a lot of things get missed, I should say. There's a lot of conversations thrown out there, especially this social media era. And
Right.
misperceptions, misconceptions, I should say. So I think it's good to have good, healthy conversation with good people with good energy. What I mean, I
Yeah.
think good conversation takes us a long way, and I think that's the point we're missing out on is kind of sitting down, breaking down, and finding the root and having those conversations.
Yeah, and that's what I'm here for. People that watch me, follow me before they know, I'm here for the conversation, the breakdown, getting down to the root of a lot of things. Hey guys, that's saying hello. People are just saying hello. April, the topic for tonight is accountability. So we're talking about being accountable and help and for I'm talking too fast. So being accountable, which will help you in your personal growth. So that's the topic for tonight. Um, so what was the business that you're working on? Did you
Right
say?
now, I got my hand a little bit in real estate, and I'm jumping off to the trucking game as well. So that's one of
Okay.
the new avenues I'm leading into. Most people say, "Oh, I don't want to speak on it yet." I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna be successful
Yeah.
at it. So I'm jumping into that new thing, man. Trying to find my way from punching the clock in corporate America every day. So
Right. Right.
that's the new avenues I'm leading down, and as long as I give good energy towards and that effort, everything will work out where it needs to be.
Right. I agree. I agree. All right. So getting into the topic, what made you actually choose the topic you chose?
For me, I'm big on speaking on things that I feel like I need to improve on, and accountability is a big one. I think it's very important for our personal growth, like our title says, and really addressing what's really going on and taking accountability for things that you do. It's so easy to point the finger at the next person, but I'm a true believer where you're not growing as a person if you're not looking at yourself in the mirror. So that's it's something big. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I just know what I know.
Yep.
So with that, I want to continue to take account for things I've done, the things I'm going to continue to do because I'm not perfect, and what I mean, fix those things and be a better person.
Mhm.
I got four little ones looking up to me every day, so I got to make sure I'm doing things I need to do to be the best person.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. If you're because you're freezing up on my end, I'm not sure if they see that as well. If it does go out really bad, you do have your phone that you can tune into it from there, right?
I do. And
Oh,
like
okay.
I said, if it gets to that point, I can switch broadcasts and hopefully we can get a better connection that way.
Okay, yeah, because it was. That's what I said. I said it's going really good when we did the pre-rep. Get in here, and I'm like, boom, it's going to freeze up. Yeah, so it's definitely freezing up really bad, but hopefully it starts to work out with us. But yeah, so my brand is definitely on accountability. The tagline for my brand is your training ground to learn, grow, and become a better you. I know a lot of people don't know that's probably the tagline. It's so small under there. But it's accountability. Like that's the only way you're going to grow is if you are taking that finger that you're pointing at somebody else and kind of curving it back, your way a little bit. Um, I feel like, you know what? Let me not say that because I'm gonna go into my questions and I want you to tackle that. So go ahead and describe what accountability is.
Again, it's again, I don't have the perfect definition for it, or who knows, we might look at it different. But accountability again is just sit down, resetting, and kind of saying, okay, let's look at the personal self. Let's look at what you did. Let's look at what you've done to cause whatever may happen or whatever may be. I think that's very important. So it kind of give a slim definition for me is just really just looking yourself in the mirror and addressing everything in itself instead of looking at the next person. I think we so quick to jump on the other side of it, because if you're not taking care of what's on your end, nothing's being fixed at the end of the day because it's going to take you to look yourself in the mirror, understand what you did, and understand what you could have done better. And that's where the growth's going to come from it.
Yeah, so this was not one of my questions, but just because you said that, I want to ask you, do you think in every situation, people always like, well, I never did nothing. I was, I wasn't wrong. I was the victim or whatever. Do you ever think in any situation, there's always a person who literally never did anything wrong in that situation? Like there's nothing that person contributed to the situation.
For me, when I get that, I'm big on kind of stepping back and look at it like, nah, that's very rare. I'm not saying it can't happen. There are situations where who knows what may be happening. But when a person say they've done nothing to contribute anything to it, that's a red flag for me. So and there's something done. There can be something said, something physically. Who knows? It could be something mentally you've done to a person. So you got to look at it as a whole instead of saying, okay, I didn't physically put my hands on a person or say something to a person. But what are some things you said that kind of affected them mentally or whatever else? So if there is something that was there, you know what I mean? And I think that's why it's important for you to kind of see that. And everyone's not at a point in their life where they can really look at themselves in the mirror. You know what I mean?
Right.
It takes a time for you to get there. It's not
Right.
something that happens overnight. So I think it's important for us to start to do those things and work towards it. And the more situations you're put into or you've been through, you kind of start to see it that way. Hopefully, at least.
Hopefully.
I'm not perfect. I've done something. You know what I mean? So it's just about fixing those things because you're not perfect.
Yeah. I like how you said that. Sometimes, he clicked out, but sometimes what we think is, okay, a person may, and I try not to, we always speak on relationships, and I try not to use cheating so much because there's a bunch of other things in relationships that kills a relationship other than cheating. But let's just say, go back to what he said. A lot of times you may not have went and cheated on your partner, but you may have said some things to this person, mentally drained this person, emotionally drained this person, dogged this person out with your words. This person is trying to talk to you about their feelings or what's hurting them, and you disregarding them and shunning them off, going to hang out with family and friends when this person is wanting quality time, and you're just like, whatever, I'll talk to you later, or I'll be with you later. Those type of things are all type of things that contributes to the breakdown of a relationship. So again, I'm not saying cheating is okay, but when your partner cheated on you, you gotta sometimes look back at yourself and see what was the signs beforehand. Yes, Antoinette. Antoinette said in most cases it's safe to point the finger at others versus examining yourself and see how you can grow. Yeah, it's definitely a safe space for that person, because when I gotta look at myself in the mirror, I think a lot of people call it shadow work. When I gotta do shadow work, that hurts. Nobody want to look at themselves and be like, okay, I might was the person that provoked my partner. Let's talk about relationships. I might was the person that provoked my partner to go look at somebody else, talk to somebody else, be in somebody else's bed. Again, when I say these things, guys, I am not saying cheating is okay. So please don't take my words and twist that and make it seem like that's what I'm saying. Hey, Brandon. Oh, he clicked back out, guys. He was just in. And then April, let me put your. So April said everyone is accountable even for overlooking something. Yes, April, that's exactly what I was getting at. It's like, okay, since I spoke on the cheating thing, say you're married now, your spouse is cheating. Here's the thing. Was he a cheater before he married you? Was he a cheater before he proposed? Because if he was a cheater and had these tendencies and flirtatious things going on before he proposed, chances are he was definitely still going to be a cheater after you guys got married. So that's one of them things April kind of just said. You're accountable for even overlooking something. Brandon, you good? I know. I'm trying to put you in there. Okay, it's not letting me add you onto the screen again. So I was talking on April said, I know you probably can't see the comment, but she said everyone is accountable even for overlooking something, forgiving something, not setting boundaries and sticking to them. I cannot. Can you go out and then come back in? I'm trying not to refresh my screen. It'll turn the thing off, but it's not letting me click you back into the live. But yeah, guys, while he's doing that, you still can ask questions, get your questions in, get comments in, anything you want to ask me as it comes to accountability and personal growth while he's trying to get back in. I'm trying not to speak so much on what I have to say on it because I don't want to go ahead of myself and then it's something that, he is going to say or speak on. So it's his panel, his live, he's the guest. So I'm trying to make sure he has the floor and not me. You on your phone now, Brandon? Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm like,
we're gonna get it right.
Okay. So we good, right? We good.
I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go to April's comment and then I'm gonna go to the next question, unless you had something to say before you.
No, I actually heard a lot of it. For some, I just wasn't
Okay.
able to be visible, but I heard a lot of it. So let's keep it rolling.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to April's next comment before I go to the question. So she just gave an example. She said, when I met him, he was not financially responsible. Now, 2 years later, I'm mad because he's still irresponsible when it comes to money. So that was just going back to when she said a lot of times hey Kashmir, we talking about accountability tonight. So we're talking about accountability, and that's taking accountability will help us with personal growth. And hey to my YouTubers that's tuning in too, guys. Ask your questions for our guests. Post your comments. Those that's been on here, you kind of know the routine. Sorry if I'm being repetitive, but I gotta say this all the time because we have new viewers each time we go live. But yeah, so with that, April, a person. So the thing is with that, I don't know if that's too much of us trying to be with somebody off potential. Maybe that's not really the case with that situation. Because like you said, he wasn't even financial responsible while we were dating dating. But then now we're in a relationship. We expect him to snap his finger and then boom, he know how to handle money perfectly. Yeah, that was a red flag, as Brandon said earlier. That was a red flag we ignored. That's kind of on us. That's the kind of accountability part that we got to take. We ignored it just so we can be with somebody. Okay, good. Ask your questions. This is what we're here for.
That's human. That's human of us. You know what I mean? That lust part, man, that blinds us so much. And we try to see that potential in that person and those things, and not saying that person can't change, you know what I mean? But I think you gotta look yourself in the mirror. Accountability. Is this somebody that's gonna be able to change and willing to change for what I need? So
Mm.
that's something you got to figure out. If that's something I want to continue to do, that's something you got to look at and say, what, let's take the time out and see if that's something worth it.
Yeah.
So but stuff like that, man, stuff can be fixed. I know finances is a big thing, so you want to tackle those things early for sure, because if you let those things continue to grow, it's just a disaster in the long run. And so that's definitely something big, and that's a major flag you got to address early on.
Hmm. And when we say address it, well, let me not say we. I don't want to speak for you.
Definitely can't do that.
I think when he says address it, it's one of those things too. When you address it, you need to address it. Don't be getting all your family and friends involved, because at the end of the day, you are the one that got to be in this relationship. You know your boundaries. You know your when enough is enough for you. So you got to know what you can work with this person. Take the accountability and say, hey, okay, I got with this person knowing that this is what they was. I do see potential in them. I do see that they are a great person. I do see them trying. So let me not back out, at this point, only because my friends and family like, girl, he's supposed to be already buying your house. He's supposed to be already buying your car. Let's be careful when we doing the accountability, but we're adding so many outside people's opinions and perception in on our relationships. Um, so you did kind of speak on this, but just narrow it down just a little bit more. So what role does accountability play when it comes to personal growth?
For me, I wanna keep repeating myself on a few things. I want to make sure I'm kind of clearing some things up as well.
Yeah,
For personal growth, I think we gotta, for anything to work, if it's relationship, if it's whatever, you gotta fix self first. You know what I mean? For those things to flourish the way they need to. So that personal growth side is where you're doing what you need to do. And if that person eventually, that either that person gonna see, I need to level my life up to meet that person or meet them halfway. Or, it's, let's be real, everything just is just what it is these days. It's, everything is not going to be what you think it's going to be. So it's about fixing yourself. You're putting yourself in a situation to either good things to happen to you, the person that you're looking for, or whatever it may be, may come to you because you're putting yourself in a situation and places where you can meet that person, or to accomplish those goals. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? And I don't want to aim this and just meeting a person, because I think we get thrown off by that, where we think life is girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think at the end of the day, it's self. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And that personal growth side, and if that's leveling up in your personal life with your business, being a better parent, whatever it may be, those things, is important for that final person you're looking to be. One major thing for me is I look myself in the mirror often as a parent. Is okay. I can yell at my kid all day, but what could I have done better for them to understand, or get a better result from them? So
yeah,
that's accountability thing. I think that's where I take the most accountability is on my father's side. You know what I mean? Is learning, continue to learn my children, and continue to learn the things that I can do to mold my children. And that's me taking accountability. It's easy to say,
yeah,
"Oh, my kid's bad," or "They're not listening to me." But what's the
yeah,
things you're doing? You
yeah.
let's address that. And I think that's all of those things mold up personal growth.
It definitely does. When you're speaking on the kid situation, so, and I said this before on a while back on a panel, I realized I was parenting my son the way we were parented, and which was really unhealthy. It was a lot of physical and emotional, verbal abuse, and I
Hmm.
had started. That's what I knew. That's all it was when I was growing up. So I started doing that to my son, and I had to realize, like, okay, this is how you was raised, but at this point now it's on you. If you're continuing to repeat that cycle with your son, it's unhealthy. Like, what it did to you, what it did to your siblings. You
Right.
want to take your son through that? You want to take your kids through that? Or are you gonna say, you know what, I wasn't taught the right way, but guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go read some books. I'm finna go talk to some people that's mature, some people that I know is healthy parents. I'm gonna do what I need to do as a person and figure out how to be a better mom than, well, my mom didn't even raise me, but be a better mom than my dad was to us.
Right.
So that's the accountability part that I had to take versus, well, my family didn't do this, or I wasn't taught this, or I could easily be like, well, I ain't had no mama, so I don't know no better. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. It's
I,
plenty.
I, I don't know. I'm sorry. I want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know why we're so afraid to say we're wrong. That's that's big, you know what I mean? Because I noticed that. No, I battle with that, you know what I mean, and admitting when I was wrong, or no, it's times where I'm sitting back and I go back a little bit. I apologize to my kids so much now,
Good.
and as a young parent, oh, no, what I say is whatever. That's right.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, their kids they'll get over it. That's not a good way of doing things, because I can count on my hand how many times my parents apologized to me for anything if they ever
Well,
did.
I
You
don't
know
think
what
I
I
ever
mean?
heard an apology.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
but that's hitting on something you said, is doing stuff different. And I think it's important to try different things to get different outcomes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not saying our parents did a bad job in raising us, because I can't sit here and say that by any means, but just trying to find better ways of doing things, being more efficient, doing other things to kind of get different results and better results at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So just kind of look at yourself in the mirror. And I know we're going to keep saying those things, because I think that's what it surrounds, is looking at yourself in the mirror and really kind of just sitting back and standing back, I should say, instead of just saying, okay, I'm gonna do it this one way all the time.
Yeah.
That don't get us nowhere.
Yeah. And while you was off the broadcast, I mentioned something about shadow work. It's a new term. I've never really heard it until recently this year. But the meaning behind it, I rock with it. And it's basically shadow yourself. Like, step out. This ain't no weird stuff that I'm saying, but step outside your body a little bit. Step outside your body a little bit and see you from the shadows, and look at you. Are you really a good person? Like, are you mean? Are you negative? Are you nasty? You know what I'm saying? Like, do that shadow work and really examine yourself. That's where the accountability is going to come in at.
Man,
and
then, you know what killed me, Brandon?
What?
When people say, "Oh, this just me. This how I am."
Yep. And that's not okay.
That's bad. That's not gonna get you nowhere. That's gonna get you in the same situations you've been in, and it's gonna continue to put you in those situations, because you're not looking for different ways to get out of it. And that's one thing I hear it so much, and it kills me. I like, this is just me. Deal with it. If you don't deal with it, okay, whatever. If you think you're gonna continue to, if you think you're gonna get to the places you want to be, doing that the same thing, you're mistaken. So, man, that's something that always kills me, just trying to figure that out. And I know you kind of hit it where you kind of shatter yourself, where one thing I try to do is give good energy no matter what. You know what I mean? If it's me smiling, if it's me being positive about a situation, of me kind of watering down a semi-serious kind of situation, we're just trying to figure out ways to make everybody kind of feel better at the end of the day, because that goes a long way. We get so caught up in the world and forget to give good energy, and because to get good energy, you got to give it. You know what I mean? You're gonna get what you throw out there. So you try to get that good energy, and what you got to realize, you got to get away from some people, because that good energy you're trying to give, it don't come back. And when you ever find yourself in those situations, you just got to move around.
Yeah. So this is a long. I know you cannot see the comment. This is a long comment. One of the commenters posted. Kashmir, it's very, very long. I did kind of read it while he was speaking. So we will not get off the topic of accountability and personal growth. I will ask you for that particular comment. Can you just copy and paste that to either my inbox? Actually, not either, both. Because I want to see, because Brandon is a man and a guy, so I'm sure he can probably definitely help you a little better than me as a female. But if you could just take time after the live, you ain't got to do it now, but copy him up and inbox him about that. It's not to disregard what you're saying, but it's really, really long, and I think it will take us away from the topic of accountability as to the way he's speaking on it. But it's definitely a good scenario to talk about. I got off and I ended up losing my train of thought. No, but as it refers to the whole, this is how I am, I feel like the only way I'm gonna deal with somebody, and guys, this is not just relationship stuff. It's friendship, it's family, because sometimes family don't feel like they need to take accountability either, because they are family by blood. No. You need to take some accountability for the toxic ways you have too. But the only way I would deal with somebody with this whole, well, this is just how I am, if you are actually actively in the process of figuring out how to change who you are. Then I'd be like, well, this how I am, but I'm trying to work on it. Okay, I can deal with that. But this how I am, take it or leave it, I'm leaving it. I'm out.
I'm with you. And like you said, as long as you're seeing some type of progress, especially if if you know that person, that the other person, that they don't like it, you know what I mean? At least try to make some type of progress, because that's gonna get to something else with selfishness. Because I think we super selfish. You know what I mean? We got to kind of attack those things, man. And if you know it's a problem, man, try to fix it. Because most of the time we be so stuck in our ways, and again, man, just keeping us in the same place, keeping us in mud. So you
Yeah.
know what I mean? If you know it's really an issue, you know it's bothering that person, fix those things. You know, it could be something. It could be I don't even want to consider a flaw. It could be something. It's an attribute of yourself, I should say. You know what I mean? If you know it, if it's something that you can change, you know what I mean, and for the betterment of the situation, come on now, let's do
Yeah.
those things.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, again, we talking about personal growth. Personal growth is it's your walk. Personal growth is it has nothing to do with nobody else, and I think that's what we confuse it when we're talking about accountability. So we'll be like, just an example. We'll be like, well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have went and slashed his tires. But if he didn't do A, B, and C, no, no, no. See, when you say but
Right.
if, then now you just switched it. There's no accountability in but if. Just look at what you did and figure out
Yeah.
next time how to avoid the situation. Because I don't know where I got that example from. Because now I'm thinking about it. If somebody you slashing somebody's tires and they come slash yours, you gonna be butt hurt. Especially if you ain't got no
Definitely.
money to get no new tires.
Yeah, I agree. That's you got look. You got to protect that energy, man. Like
Yeah,
you got to do your part to even avoid even getting there. You know what I mean? Whatever they did to you, you know what I mean. We all human, so we all got feelings. We all get
right,
our emotional, and I
right.
think that's another one. We got to step back from the emotional side. You know what I mean, and kind of just step back and say, you know what? Like I had a quote my boy told me. He say, man, you got to stop adding fuel to that fire. You know, and because I
You
got
said
friends that I
you
reach out
said
to, and
you said stop adding fuel to the fire.
yeah, stop adding that fuel
That's
to that
good.
fire. You know what I
That's
mean?
good.
Because if it's something around you, there's a lot of times where we can't control that other person. So you're gonna control yourself. So whatever the situation may be, with whatever they're doing, you got to do your part, and that's gonna protect your peace at the end of the day, man. By just doing your part and avoiding those things, and hopefully that whatever may be happening in your life, hopefully those things start to slow down or completely stop because you
Right.
stop doing what you wanted to do based off emotion.
Right, right. And I know a lot of people speak on karma. I know some don't believe in it, but most people do.
It's a
But
real
here's the
thing.
thing, huh?
I say it's a real thing.
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing. A lot of us we try to go be the karma. Instead of letting karma be the karma gonna be, we try to be the
Uh-huh.
karma. And there again, take the accountability in that. So when you go be the karma that you wish this person got, guess what? Now something else gonna come back behind that.
Come right back to you. Right back
Then
to you.
you're gonna be like, but I'm a good person. Why this happening? Well, what did you just do? You
Yeah,
ain't let God do what He was gonna do. You went and you tried to be the karma. So now look,
exactly.
now you stunted a little bit of your little growth in your little path, and you got to redo that test over.
That's it, man. And I'll be the first to tell you, be honest, I've done those things. You know, I'll
Yeah,
hit a tip for that things or whatever it may be.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And stuff always come behind that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It may feel good at the moment because you're
man,
emotional. You know, everything's so high at the moment. But once all that stuff just is over with, you like, come on, man. And because one thing
yeah.
what helped me out, I feel dumb sometimes after the fact. You know what I
Boy,
mean? Like no matter what that person did, I react to it or do something, it may feel good at that moment, but I feel dumb afterwards. And
yeah,
once I knew that, and once I like, man, I don't like feeling this way, so I
yeah,
gotta avoid it. I gotta do my part in the beginning, or whenever I can stop. If I find a stopping point in it, I gotta do my part then because by the time I react, now I'm done something crazy. Now I put myself in a situation, and here we go again, and it don't stop. Now it's continuous. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because most of the time when you're in those situations with a person, they trying to get a reaction out of you. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? So the best thing for you to do, protect your peace, man. Move around and find you something else to do.
Yeah. And then the thing is, people, it's a lot of narcissistic people these days. And again, I feel like I could say this because I am a woman. I've been through a lot of these things. Women are very narcissistic. And I feel like we are quick to blame somebody. Oh, I'm chilling. I ain't messing with nobody. People always messing with me. No,
Mm.
it's something you doing to why people always mess with you. Like everybody messing with you. You mean
Exactly.
everybody messing with you. It's something that your energy giving off, some type of either it's the people you're around, something you've done, something you have said, something you are doing to make these particular energies steadily come your way. I mean, I know sometimes you be doing good. Where there's good, evil is always present. We get that. We got that. Good. But no. For a lot of people, it's things that you are literally doing and people that you are with as to the reason why a lot of these bad stuff is steadily coming your way.
And Brandon, I think you hit on them. You know, the people around you and the energy. You know, like I find myself these days where I don't deal with a lot of people. You know what I mean? So I protect my peace and my energy. So it's like I don't hear my name in situations no more. Or like I just move different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once you look at it that way, it's all time to our topic tonight is accountability on
Yeah.
you think you're not doing something, but you're doing something. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It could be the people around you. Those people need to get away from you. You know what I mean? Everybody not good for you. I think we all know that.
Yeah.
So we got to find a way of kind of trying to figure out and dissecting the real problem at hand, because if something's continuing to happen, there is something causing those things. And that's just science, the natural,
Yeah.
man. That's just what it
Yeah.
is.
And if you are the common denominator, then hello. I mean, real life,
Hey, talk.
you know,
Talk.
if you are the common denominator in
Yeah.
everything, then okay.
Yeah.
So you can't see the comment on the screen. Cashmere said the road to accountability is lonely, is a lonely rehab, but it's a consistent everyday battle. And I have to agree, it's definitely lonely. Because when you're on a journey of accountability, you definitely have to sometimes remove yourself from certain people and certain energies. And when you start removing yourself, you might not be getting invited as much to certain places, or certain vibes and certain atmospheres now is no longer conducive for you because you're on that road of accountability. And accountability is very lonely. I do agree, Cashmere. It's very, very lonely.
I can see we could think that way. You done? I don't want to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, guys, get your questions and comments in for our guests. Share the live, tag somebody in, like the live. Don't forget to follow us. Our links are in the caption of the video. But yeah, get your questions in to him. We got about 25 more minutes. I do have a few more questions, but I really want you guys to pull on him. I know accountability is kind of hard. A lot of people may not even have questions on, accountability, because it's kind of embarrassing to to speak on some of the things you've probably done, and want to know, like, dang, how can I make this situation better? You can always inbox us, either one of us, privately, if you want to. If you don't want to post it on the live, that's totally fine as well. Go ahead though.
I will touch on that last comment about accountability being lonely. I agree, but I disagree as well. You got to find, you got to determine what lonely is. You know what I mean? You got to find peace in yourself and enjoyment in yourself for anything.
That
You got
makes
to
sense.
find, if you picking up a book, if you going for a walk and whatever it may be. Some things I've picked up, I recently start working out. You know what I mean? That's somewhere where I can just go in and for an hour and a half and just release and just forget about the world around you. Sometimes
Yeah.
you got to get away from things, you know what I mean, and find what your true interest, you know what I mean, find your true self. So it can come off as lonely, but I think in the long run, it's gonna be rewarding because you're
Yeah.
gonna find yourself, what you like. You're gonna start to mold your circle, mold your energies, what's around you.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, you can't look at it as a bad thing or a negative. Look at it as a positive, man. We
Yeah.
gonna get through it. We're gonna
Yeah.
figure it out. And at the end of the day, you're gonna be that better person with new interests and new people around you.
See, I like how you said that, because the road to accountability is definitely about finding yourself. That's definitely
Mm-hmm.
what accountability is. So a lot of my time, like lately, people that follow me probably know how much I love crab legs. But it's not that crab legs are not trending for me. Literally, crab legs is my peaceful place.
Okay.
Crab legs is my place where, hey Natasha, crab legs is my place where I reflect it. I mean, it might sound weird, but I do. When I'm cracking them crab legs, I'm in my moment. I'm really reflecting on life. I'm reflecting on things I've done, things I
All
could have
right.
done better, things I want to do. My crab legs are really my self-reflection. And I know it's weird. It sounds weird to people, but that's why I'm like, don't give me no flowers, give me crab legs. Like,
Wow.
that's my reflection. But yeah, I do agree with you. You on the road to accountability, you gotta find what it is that you like or that you love about yourself, whether that's reading. My new thing that I've been doing is I just go drive. Like,
Yeah.
just pick a place and just drive. Like, I don't even put the GPS on. I just drive and turn. And no music. Just drive and turn and looking at, the buildings that's around or whatever's around. and I'm reflecting, self-reflecting, saying,
Yeah.
you know, and it's all in that moment where you looking at yourself, you're doing shadow work.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys from YouTube, Natasha said you have to find you. Yeah, definitely. You definitely got to find you. So let me move on to the next one, guys. Get your questions in, comments in. I'm loving them. Thank you guys for participating. I love when you guys participate. This is dialect. I love dialect, especially dialect that's healthy. So
Definitely.
this is a little small on the screen, but I'll go ahead and read it. It said, "How should you deal with a person that never takes accountability and feel that they are never wrong?"
You want to jump on that, or you want me to get into it?
I want you to dive into it.
For me personally, you got to stay away from that because that's not healthy. For me at least, because if I'm always dealing with an individual who is never a problem, they never see what they're doing wrong, their flaws in the situation. You got to protect yourself because you're gonna tear yourself down thinking or killing yourself thinking, and your mind running in 100 miles per hour. So for me at least, man, you got to eliminate those things. And I'm not saying just walk away from it because I never that's not my role to tell you what to do in those situations. But for me at least, you got to kind of you got to kind of look at the situation if it's worth me dealing with, or if it's is this something I can help out with, or I can start to alter or change that person's mindset. And don't get me wrong, because I give that a try, but eventually you're gonna kill yourself. You know what I mean? Because this person at the end of the day never gonna see wrong in what they do. It's always gonna be at you. So that's just not healthy. You know what I mean? That's not a healthy relationship. And when I say relationship, I'm not saying intimate relationships. It can be
Yeah.
friendship. It can be anything. It's just not a healthy situation to be in. There you go. It's just not healthy to be in.
Yep. So this is not a question, but just all based on what you just recently said, I'm gonna I'm gonna ask this, and you can deny it. You can say no, let's move on, or not, because I only want people to talk on personal experience if they are comfortable. I never
I got
want
you.
to dive into people's personal experience unless you feel safe. But give an example of a relationship example where you, because I know you say you haven't always been to the place that you're at. So give an example where you
I'm
have,
still working to get there. I ain't there yet.
yeah. So when it comes to a relationship situation, a past relationship situation, let's not talk about nothing that's current. Um, Talk about, give an example of a time where you knew you were wrong and you was not ready to accept accountability.
Mm. It's kind of hard to pinpoint because I'll tell you, man, I haven't been the perfect person in this life. You know what I mean? I've been through things, I've done things, I've had things done to me,
Me too.
and instead of just hitting on really just one thing, I do know one thing I can speak on is me being accountable for my actions and kind of seeing how everything turned out. With me personally, I can jump into, I'll say me communicating better, you know what I mean, on what a situation may be and what it's not. Sometimes as people, we kind of assume this person know how I feel or what's going through my mind or how I
Yeah.
see that person. You know what I mean? Instead of me clearly communicating those things. You know what I mean? And I learned those things over time where I can't assume that I can't assume anything about the next person, what they think. So I gotta clearly state on what I see what our situation may be, our friendship, relationship, whatever it may be. I gotta state on where we at, where some things that I'm seeing in it, where some things where I'm seeing us going. You know what I mean? So just me being better communicated because I've been in situations where that next person may react emotionally or different when they don't get certain things out of me. Might be a reaction out of me. It might be a relationship out of me. Who knows what it may be? But you know, just me doing better, watching everything unfold. Like, okay, I could have probably done that better. I could have probably distanced myself from this situation sooner, or whatever it may be. So I look in that going forward. Okay, I got to do that early on. I got to communicate things. I got to say what I see, where I see us going, what I see in the situation. And all those good things. So I think it's very important for me to let them know what I see early on and where I'm going with it, because by letting everything happen and unravel at the end of the day and it don't work out, or we both put in crazy situation at the end of the day, it don't help nobody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For me, I should say I gotta communicate better. The things that I might not like in a person or I might not like in a situation, I gotta speak on those things early on because I can't wait to something happen. You know,
Mm.
because when something, because one of my biggest issues that's been pointed out to me recently was where when someone addressing something of me that I've done or I'm doing, I'm always got something to say. Oh, well, what about you? What about that? So
Oh,
I got to
we
avoid.
just talking about that. Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I in that time I was thinking like, what am I doing wrong? You're talking to me about what I'm doing. I'm talking about what you're doing now. So I got to do better in communicating those things early on and having those uncomfortable conversations. I
Yeah.
think that's something that's missed out between people. And instead of having uncomfortable conversations, we got to be uncomfortable to grow. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Ooh, I like how you said that, because we like the fairy tale conversations. We like the Hollywood looks and not diving deep into the hard conversations. You're absolutely
definitely,
right. In whether it's friendships or relationships, you have to have those hard conversations, because the hard conversations is gonna wean out the people that's not supposed to be in your life.
definitely,
And the
definitely.
part that I recently, even this year, the part that I had to take accountability on is that I would, and it's more so in friendships than it is with relationships, but I would make excuses for people, and I would stay in their presence longer than I should. Like, I would see things that I knew, like, hey, it's time to exit, because Stan, you're gonna be in some drama, you're gonna be in some mess, something gonna unfold. I would make excuses. Well, no, long as I'm not saying nothing or doing it, I'm good. But it goes back to what you said earlier. It could be the people you're around. So you got to take accountability. Like, what crowd are you in? What energy you're in? So I had to like whoop my, well, I had friends that helped whoop me, but I had to really whoop myself and say, yeah, B, you've been in a lot of situations because it's your fault. Why
Yep.
did you stay? You saw what was what.
Definitely.
If people are having conversations and you know how these people roll, and they, remove yourself. Why are you still around? Even if you're not saying that, why are you still around? And those are things that I've been running into. And I will just make excuses. No, they. And I'm like, but what did you do, B? You was around the energy. You couldn't,
Hmm.
even if you didn't contribute with your words, you contribute with your presence. And that's how you are, in the situations that, you've been in this year. So
And
that was,
I'm loving the word choice you use of energy. I think seriously, like our energy, it determines everything around us. You know what I mean? If how don't get me wrong, there's gonna be situations where everything is good and negative energy is brought in your space. But if you're solid enough and you stand on your foundation and what you believe in, those things are easily pushed away because you know you gotta protect your inner peace and your energies. So whatever's around you is because of you at the end of
yeah.
the day. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're not most situations you're not forced to be around certain energies that you don't want to be around. So
Absolutely.
you got to determine those things. You got to determine the spaces that you want to be in. And you know what I mean? Bad energy. If you're around bad energy, it's gonna come towards you eventually. You know, it's not too many
Definitely.
times where you're in a circle and there's bad energy everywhere and it just skips over you.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit you. You know what I
That's
mean? So
good.
you gotta do better. You gotta do better in protecting that. And I'm a firm believer. You protect your energies and your peace, everything else will go well.
Yeah. Cashmere said, me personally, I used to shut down instead of holding myself accountable for something I caused. As a male, do you have anything to say towards that?
You know, man, we human. You know what I mean? And shutting down that can come from past relationships, things that you've seen. You know what I mean? And it's so easy for if you've grown up a certain way of seeing things, or throughout your life, throughout experiences, throughout relationships, whatever it may be. If you've seen those things, it's so easy for you to pick up on those things.
Yeah,
So you know what I mean? By you, the first step you did is you addressed it. Like I shut down. I got to do a better job in figuring out how to ways to get through those things, and for me to
absolutely.
continue to make the situation better. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So the first step is done. You addressed it, man. You identified it, I should say. You identified the problem, a problem
yes,
that you may have, and it's so hard. There's not too many times where you can sit back and write down a list of 50 problems you have. You know what I mean? So by you identifying something, man, you at least trying. So you made that
yeah.
first step.
And then I would say to that, Cashmere, the thing with that is, again, we can't stress enough. We're human. We're flawed human. If you
Definitely.
can go find a perfect person for me, please tag me. Please tag me in their page so I can go follow them, because I want to know how they do it. We're all flawed humans, and we have to keep that in mind. Now, you say you used to shut down instead of hold yourself accountable for something that you caused. We gotta admit too, it's a lot of us don't like to be embarrassed. We don't
Hmm.
like, I was just talking to Brenda earlier, like rejection. We don't like to be embarrassed. So of course we gonna shut down. We don't want to talk about it, even though we know it's our fault, but we just like, nah, I'm good. We don't want to address it. If you got somebody that you can be vulnerable with, even if that's the one that's telling you, hey, you just tripped, if this person is somebody you could be vulnerable with, that really has your best interest at heart, gotta get to the point where we gotta be vulnerable. We gotta be put our look. I'm trying not to cuss.
Nah, we
but
keep talking, sis.
on the platform and let it stink. Like, put it on the platform and let it stink, because we gotta get that mess out versus always shut down or being like, well, I don't want to admit that I was wrong, because then, you know, you might use that against me later. The thing is, we gotta be vulnerable with people, and being vulnerable with people it's a process. You're gonna run across some people that's gonna use and abuse that. It's life. But again, I feel like it's gonna build your character. It's gonna build your heart. The what's that, like what's the breastplate of the, what's it? Look, I'm going all into scripture. You know what that is? Like the breastplate, they say put the breastplate over your heart. Whatever it is, it's like you cover your heart. you cover your heart, and any little darts coming towards your heart, it's gonna hit that shield. So being vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? You building the strength in your heart to take whatever and say, I don't care. You can't use that against me. I know what I did wrong. I came to terms with it. And what else? You got something else?
And us as men, you know, we got that pride thing where we're scared to be vulnerable. And, you know what I mean? We think we consider weak in that way. And I disagree. I think it's more of a strength than anything. You know what I mean? You can be vulnerable, and you can let out these certain emotions. You know what I mean? It's just natural. Like, we get so hit big on trying to be this tough Tony thing, and you missing out, man. You got to deal with some of those things. You got to deal with some of your inner self. Unfortunately, man, a lot of us men think we stronger than we really is. You know what I mean? so let's kill that, man. We got to figure it out, man, and get to the greater goal, and it's fixing itself.
Yeah.
And I know you hit something. You mentioned something about the perfect person. I want to hit on that real quick. You're not gonna find a perfect person until you fix yourself. Because, well, okay, I take that back. You can find it, but might not be ready for that person. Because, you might not be in the space within yourself individually to really be able to mold and connect with that perfect person. You know what I mean? So I think that's super important, and goes back to that growth point that we're keeping on, where you gotta grow within yourself. You gotta get yourself together first. Let's work on that. And none of us are there yet. We all working towards those things. Let's continue. It's an everyday process. Hopefully, I'm gonna do it till I die. You know what I mean? Continue working and being better. You know what I mean? So I think that's always the goal. So once you continue to fix yourself, and you continue to put yourself on a certain level, certain pedestal, those good things are going to start to happen for you, because you're going to naturally attract what you are.
Yeah.
So by doing those things is big.
That's the part right there. People are like, why do I keep getting these same people? Here's the thing. You are attracting what you are. And that you have to do the shadow work, the accountability. Why am I steadily attracting this certain person? The thing is, you may not be the type dog people these people are, but it's something in you that's keep attracting these people. And you have to start doing the shadow work to figure out what it is. I'm even go back to what you said with the perfect person. There is no perfect person, in my opinion, but there is a perfect person for you.
For you, okay. If
that makes sense. There is no perfect person, but there is a perfect person for you. Okay. And I agree with you, Brandon. The only way you're going to find that is if you are doing your own work, your own accountability, working on yourself, and that person's energy is going to start being attracted to your energy.
Right.
But, so Alice said, I can definitely relate to making excuses for toxic situations and people. She was saying that because I kind of said like that was my thing this year. I found out about myself. I've been doing that for years, making excuses for toxic people and toxic situations, because I'm always trying to see the good in people. And even with my brand, I try to have different posts so that I can hear different people's perspectives, and we can agree to disagree without being disrespectful. But I had to learn, even in that, a lot of times you be making excuses for, like, flat out just tell, nah, you tripping. Now ain't no excuse for this. You tripping and you bad for me. Bad energy. We can't rock with each other. She said that was a thing of being gullible. What do you have to say to that?
Being gullible. Explain what you mean by that. I want to make sure I understand that.
So she said when she was she could relate to making excuses for toxic people and situations. She was saying that was the gullible stage. So do you agree that that's what we were? Because I'm saying it was me too. Do you agree we were gullible, or is there something else to that you think was the reason why we were doing what we were doing with making excuses for the toxic people?
It's something who it's kind of hard to really give a direct answer to that in my opinion, but I will say that that's something that's something internally, you know what I mean? Because I think we all think we got good hearts, you know what I mean? We always try to see the best in people and the best in situations. You know, at some point you got to really look at it like, man, if I'm wasting time here, I'm walking in quicksand. You know, I'm not making any progress. So
Yeah,
you gotta look yourself, man. See where you at and where you at in life at that moment and where you trying to get. And if that's holding you back, you need to kill them shackles.
yeah,
So that's something I feel like it can be considered gullible. Who knows what it can be considered. But
yeah,
at the same time, it's stuff that you got to release to get to the point, or you got to release yourself. You know what I mean? I think we all say it most of the time where we're our biggest enemy and we holding ourselves back most of the time.
yeah,
And these are things that we can control.
yeah.
So you can only do it the things that you can control. You got to control those things.
I
So
like how you said that.
if you're in a point in life where you continue to deal with those things, you're not getting where you want to be at. You know what I mean? Or so you holding yourself back at the end of the day. So that's accountability that you got to take within
Yeah,
yourself. You can't say, "Oh, this person did that to me." No, you did that to yourself.
yeah.
So you
And
got to
that's
look at
like
that.
I definitely like how you said that because accountability is taking control of what you can control. And that is
Facts.
a lot of times we're actually trying to control situations that we can't control. And then we do find ourselves mad, bitter, mean, getting retaliations because we tried to control something a certain way, didn't go that way, and then we end up hurt in the situation. So I like how you said that. Accountability is actually taking um control of the situation that you can actually control. I like that.
Definitely,
Hey,
definitely.
Cashmere say you doing good. Good advice. Good advice, bro. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I
Hey,
don't
did you post my
know.
cash app down there? I can get deeper. If I get a couple of notifications, I might start going crazy.
Hey, he say send him a cash app so he can go on deeper. Go deeper.
Nah,
Yes.
man, it's all love, man. I'm
Yes.
just
Bless us both for this advice, y'all. If y'all wanna keep us flowing, bless us both.
talking.
So just go ahead, and I know you're a man, I get it, I understand it, but from a man's view, just go ahead and give us an example of how a woman can take accountability in her relationship.
Oh, oh. All right. You know, you
Don't go
gotta
too hard on us now.
now.
I'm just
See,
playing. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
that's layers right there. We gotta get to that. Them layers you gotta
Definitely,
unfold.
definitely.
But as a woman, you gotta. I'm gonna give this example. We get so many, and it's thrown out there. We all know of men ain't shit and this and that. I can tell you this. I rarely hear those things coming from a good woman. Because you know why they got their shit together. It's a situation where if that man or whatever or that woman not holding up to their status or what they need to be doing, it's they know where they deal what they can do in the situation. You know what I mean? Or even go further where it's not hard for them to find something else because it's if you're the one always saying or bashing this person or bashing these guys, it goes back to what we said earlier. You're the common denominator in the situation. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. You hear it's common, but that's not the majority. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's what we think because we on social media or we in toxic situations or around toxic environments. You know what I mean? We really fix ourselves and kind of see what I can do internally to make myself better, to find that better friendship or relationship or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Let's do those things first. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We ain't gotta sit back and bash all day. We know is ain't stuff, ain't good women, ain't good men out here. I think we all can agree to that. If you disagree to that, we got a bigger problem. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So we got to look at that, and it's like, okay, if I'm continuing to have these problems in my relationships or my situations or my friendships or wherever it may be in life, I got to look at myself. I got to see, okay, these things are continuing to happen to me. Why? Because I
yeah,
allow them things to happen to me.
yeah.
Because a person only gonna do what you allow them to do to you. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
One of our commenters just said that too. Yep. Um,
Cool.
I would think. So for me, it's a couple of things that I see that women need to take accountability when it comes to their relationships. Please, please, please stop posting about your relationship on Facebook every time you're mad.
Mm,
Keep that off of Facebook. That
mm,
energy that you're getting from the comments, and I would see people post something that we happy this day, and then something else happened. They'll post that, and then they come back. They back with the person. They're like, "Oh, y'all just mad because we happy." You're not mad because you're happy, because we know you're not happy. You know why? Because just 2 days ago you was just blasting your boyfriend or your husband and talking bad about them. So we know you're not happy. You're attracting that type of energy when you're allowing social media and society into your relationship. So yes, of course you're giving people something to talk about even more. You know, you're putting it, you're putting your, not only that, in a relationship, we're supposed to protect each other. And women like for men to protect them. But guess what, ladies? We have to be their protection as well. And that's mentally, emotionally. You know, you might not be the baddest chick that can, fight for your guy or whatever. But mentally and emotionally, we are to protect our men. And that means when we have an issue with them, we cannot take that to social media, because now you're opening that door for all what they say, Jezebel spirits and everybody to come in and attack your man and attack your relationship. But that's something you did. Yeah. You put that on there. So that's the accountability that you have to take. I would say the other one too, and this one been whooping my butt, but it started happening when I found somebody that I really, really like. So I had to realize I don't want to lose this person. So I had to do the hardest thing, man. I had to start apologizing. That hurt my soul.
I ain't never had that problem. I ain't cutting you off, but we hear that often when women don't apologize. Like, maybe I don't get that energy, you know what I mean? Because I'm big on if I'm wrong, I apologize, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm stubborn at times where I might not see the wrong in it right away. But like you said, once you shatter yourself and kind of see what you did, I have no problem going back and apologize where I did wrong. Because I'm big on having good energy out here, man. And anybody I had a problem with or whatever it may be, I don't have a problem. You know what I mean?
Say, a lot of men say women don't apologize. We don't apologize. And I was like, we don't, but man, if you got somebody you don't want to lose, baby, you gonna apologize and you gonna mean it. And you gonna work on not just saying I'm sorry, but you really, really gonna work on whatever the mess was that, made you have to apologize. So
that's real though, because you can actually turn it into a strength. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you know where, okay, if I messed up, I did something, and I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And that's going to continue to grow those things. You know what I mean? Because that's being vulnerable, like you spoke on earlier. Being vulnerable, where, okay, I'm sorry. Somebody might look at that as being weak for apologizing or whatever. Man, it is what it is. It's about making right and keeping good energy and good space in between whoever you're having good space with. Trying to keep it those ways. So that's what it's all about. Is growing. If it's a relationship, creating healthy relationships, healthy whatever, man. Healthy parent, healthy relationship with your children, healthy relationship wherever, at the workplace, wherever it may be, man. You got to admit your flaws and admit where you messed up at, and that's accountability.
Yep. And I don't think people realize when you take accountability, especially when you're at a point where now you're the one having to apologize, man. When I tell you that releases so much negativity off of you, though. It frees your spirit up so much. You have no idea. It frees
energy.
Up.
It's energy. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's energy. Where it's like, man, no, that wasn't that hard. Have you ever been in a situation where you tell the truth and like, man, this person took it better than I thought they would?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's just what it is, man. You got to give that person the opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, keep that good energy, man. Good space, good peace within yourself. And you can give it to other people as well. You know what I mean? It's just being upfront, man, and really just trying to cleanse yourself, man. That's what it's all about, making ourselves better.
Cleansing yourself. That's it with accountability. Because here's the thing. Some things you may did, you hurt somebody and you apologize. You don't deserve, maybe that's not right. I was going to say you don't deserve forgiveness right away. Everybody deserves forgiveness, but you don't always deserve that person to be back trusting you or want to be back cool with you or anything like that. You don't deserve that at that time, because the way you hurt that person, you can't tell that person, I said sorry now, so it should be over with. No, that person still has their healing they got to go through from what you did or what you said. But apologizing and taking accountability, that frees you up to move forward. Whether that person forgives you ever or get back cool with you, it frees you up to be who you're supposed to be with good energy. So do your part.
Moving forward equals growth. And we also got to look at everything is not going to be for you. Everything, whatever's for you is going to be for you at the end of the day. So by you releasing that and taking accountability, saying sorry, admitting where you messed up at, not saying that relationship is going to be fixed or whatever, but at the same time, that's life. It goes on. You're at least clearing that energy that was over there. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So hopefully going forward, there's still at least positive energy and good space at the end of the day. So I think
Yeah,
that's what it's all about because we're not meant to be with the people, same people we might be with today. That's part of
absolutely.
life. And that's what makes
Yeah,
life so fun and adventurous because you don't know. You know what I mean? Only thing you
yeah,
can do is continue to live and continue to do right by people, give good energy, and stay in a good space.
yeah. I like what Alice said. She said, I'll apologize if I'm wrong and if my partner's feelings are hurt, regardless of if I might feel like I'm still right. She said, I don't want my partner to feel like they can't communicate with me without heated drama. That's major.
Mm,
That's major. When a
mm.
person feels, go ahead.
I'll hit it red. Sometimes you got to agree to disagree too.
Yes.
We forget that. Like that's man, that's something I've learned over time. Well, we might just say agree to disagree, but at least we having a healthy conversation.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I think ultimately that's what it's about. Where I'll be honest, I don't really apologize for something that I didn't do, that I wasn't wrong in. I'm be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um, and again, that's kind of contradicting the conversation because at the end of the day, there are certain situations where you know if you're the right person or you're the wrong person. I think it's a
Yeah.
natural thing sometimes. Sometimes I throw that out
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
but there's not too many times where I apologize for something that I didn't cause or I didn't do. I will address what I did in the
Yes.
situation,
Yes.
but that's I think that's a little bit different than apologizing for something that you wasn't quote unquote wrong about.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think being able to agree to disagree in a conversation is important for healthy relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like that too. I no, I ain't grown that strong yet to where I'm just gonna apologize for something I ain't did. No, but I have been in situations I didn't apologize for it, but I did say, you know what? I do still stand on what I said, but
Hmm.
I do see that that wasn't the time to say what I said. Or, I do see now you was triggered and maybe I should have backed up a little bit. So I
Yep.
do say stuff like that, even though I know what was being said absolutely right. So yeah, you're right. No, I don't apologize for when I don't feel like I'm wrong, but I will take
Yeah,
responsibility for
because
the steps that I could have done better on.
because you got some messed up people who will take advantage of that.
Yes,
Where and I'm not
yes.
saying in this situation is it Alice or Elise? I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce the name.
I know I've been saying Alice. I'm sorry if I've been
Okay,
saying wrong.
I'm sure it was Alice. If it was Alice, it's ALICE. I'm sure it's probably Alice. But like I was saying, you got to be careful with that. You know what I mean? Because a person will take if they know that you or fall back or kind of fold up a little bit and apologize for everything. They know those things. That's one thing about humans. If they say they can
Yeah,
continue to do something, they're gonna do those things and take advantage of
definitely.
it. So
Yep.
you gotta be strong. You gotta stand on certain things so they respect you in the long run. Where I gotta come correct or I gotta have my stuff together before I present something to a person because people take advantage of it and say that's a weakness in you.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, keep getting your questions in. Share the live.
And
If
it's
you
fun,
want,
by the way, man. I'm having a good time.
okay, yeah, it's good. It's good. I feel like we're helping. I feel like all the panelists helping. Yeah, it's good. It's flowing. I'm loving the comments. Definitely. Yeah, Alice, we got you. We know you was talking about actually being in the relationship with a person that disagreeing. We got you. We got you. Um, yeah, we got you. We got you. But yeah, if you guys want to be a guest on my panel, as you can see, this is how we flow. It's just conversation. It ain't, it
That's
ain't,
all.
it ain't too
Healthy
hard,
healthy conversation. That's
it's
all it
fun,
is.
healthy conversations. But I would love to have, if you want to be a guest, we speak on relationships, friendships, platonic, intimate, all of that. So please inbox me so I can get you on my calendar and we can get on live and start helping breaking these generational habits that a lot of us, especially in the Black community, have allowed family and society to taint our mindsets with.
Definitely.
Um,
Because one thing I'll say, I don't know everything. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to look at stuff in a different way. You know what I mean? I challenge myself on that a lot where, I don't have a problem sitting back for a person to tell me, or I can learn from a person or
yeah,
somebody pointing out what I've done wrong. I don't have those problems. You know what I mean? I think we're all stubborn to a certain extent, but I think ultimately when we kind of sit back, it helps us in the long run. So you know
mhm.
what I mean. But call me out on my stuff. I'm
Yeah,
okay. Like you're not
yeah,
gonna make me cry for calling me out on it. Most of the
yeah,
time, believe it or not, I agree. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like
I
I know that's a flaw of mine. I understand it.
So I told somebody, I said, yes, I am a certified life and relationship coach. But guess what? I have a life coach
Certified.
still. Like I don't, those are my titles, that's my purpose, that's my passion, but I am not perfect in that. I still have my own life lessons that I have to do. I have go through things I have to learn. So guess what? I need my own life coach. And yes, I do have it. So I don't never want anybody to look at me like she feel like she perfect or she thinks she perfect. No. But I see the loopholes and I see the struggles that we are having in relationships, communication, the wars against men and women. I see that, and I feel like my purpose is to tackle that, to help get us on a better path. So that's what I'm here for. By no means am I perfect. um, she said this is nice, positive, or a safe space. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Man, one thing I've learned though, Brandy, over the years, where I got people I talk to, I give advice here and there. Like most of the time when I give advice, it's stuff that I need to hear myself. You know what I mean? So I love talking about these things because like we both saying, man, we none one of us perfect. You know what I mean? We both still trying to get to the person we want to be. You know what I mean? Continue to work on those things, continue to see what I can do better within myself. So you know what I mean? Like I love having these healthy conversations. You know what I mean? Kind of just, hey, look, this what you're dealing with. I might deal with some of the same things, or the advice that I'm giving you, I need to hear myself. You know what I mean? And take it on myself and really add it to my life.
And I tell people all the time, the questions that I post on my Facebook page, it's because not one scenario or answer fits every situation. I might say something that may not resonate with you on the post. You might read a few comments down later and be like, I get her or I get him. Yeah, that makes sense. So I do that because everybody's in a different space in their life. So you may be in a point of your life, okay, you are at an accountability stage. What I say may not be helping you in your accountability path. Brandon might say something, you like, bingo, that's it. That's my confirmation I needed. We're here to help each other with our life experience, with our flaws, with our past, every wrong we did. All of that is here to help ourselves and help somebody else. So
I'm with you. The good and the bad, it molds you to the person you are.
Yeah,
you know absolutely. What I mean? All your life experiences, everything you've done, things you have done to you, all absolutely. That stuff just molding you at the end of the day, man. And I think we gotta continue to be a magnet to those things and really learn from them. But I think that's one of the biggest problems where we don't learn from the mistakes or learn from the things we've been through. You know what I mean? But and then that falls back on you because you was exposed to the situation. So it's up to you to learn from it on how you should move going forward. You know what I mean? So all the good and the bad, all the stuff that happened to me in my life, from the good, the tragedies, everything, man, it just molded me who I am today. You know what I mean? To kind of see myself where I'm at now. I see my personal growth. Not that that's most important. I don't care if the next person don't see it. Yeah. I know where I was at a certain point in life. I know where I'm at now. You know what I mean? So that's big for me. That's big for my inner growth, for me to continue to grow because I see the progress.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I know there are times where we don't see the progress, where we start to shut away or kind of shut down. But when you see that your progress for yourself, man, it's up from there.
And when you said, I love how you said it because a lot of times too, we'll be progressing so good, but because somebody not clapping for us, we start to question ourselves. Clap for yourself. It don't matter if don't nobody else see your growth or where you at. You know where you been, you know where you came from, you know your journey. Clap for yourself until God send you your people to clap for you.
Like, and you gotta know, even the people that's clapping for you, most of them ain't happy for you anyway. So you better be clapping for yourself because there ain't too many genuine souls out here. So it's like not. If you happy for yourself, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? As long as you happy where you at in life, and who knows, you to the next person, to an outsider, you might not be at a certain point, but you know where you at. Yeah. And that's all that matters, man. You gotta find peace, man. Find peace and happiness. Because it's just too much going on where we balance ourselves, man. We gotta find happiness within ourselves. You can't find with no woman or no man. At the end of the day, that's an add-on. You know what I mean? You better find some peace within yourself.
Yes. Give us an example of how a man can take accountability in his relationship.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say this first. You gotta. We gotta see what works for your relationship. Yes. Because it's so big on this faithful thing and all that. They know it is important, but I feel like what's important for your relationship. Accountability is. I don't want to get too off topic on this, but accountability is saying what you need to do You know what I mean? If that's and that's the thing where if you're in a situation where you're not happy, if she wants you to be a one woman man, you know what I mean, and you don't want to be in that space, you got to address those things, have those tough conversations. That might
Yeah.
not be for you.
Yeah.
But now if you sit in a situation where okay, this is what I probably want, or I see myself being this person that she want me to be, or that I think I want to be ultimately, you got to work on those things. You know what I mean? So we got to see what's worth it at the end of the day. If because it's big, and I'm gonna be honest with you, speaking from a man's standpoint, having a man sitting down is tough. You know, and you know you gotta look at it where it's okay. If it's worth me doing those things, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, but we gotta take accountability in saying, okay, if I'm gonna stay here and I'm expecting this, if this person is expecting this from me, I gotta be able to do those things. If I
Yeah.
don't want to do those things, I gotta move around. You
Yes.
know what I mean? So taking accountability on that end, where it's if this person is expecting you to be a certain way and you don't want to be that person, you got to go figure it out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you got to look at it in a way where okay, if this is where I need to be, I got to work on being that person.
I would definitely say that for men, just from in me being in the dating scene and things like that, I would definitely say to you, man, you gotta take accountability and stop doing relationship stuff with a person you don't want to be in a relationship with. And that's where a lot of our and that's where a lot of you men having the issues and the drama that you have with women, because I was on somebody else's post the other day and they was like, it's just sex. I said, or is you sure it's just sex
It's
though? To
different.
you it may
It's
be just sex,
different.
but if this woman is looking at you like, okay, he having sex with me, that means he want me, that means
Yeah,
he see a future with me. If she's thinking that, you that's on you if you don't see that. If you created this monster because you're continuing to have sex with her or do relationship stuff with her, and you thinking, oh no, we just chilling whole time. She like, no, we ain't chilling, we building. That's kind of on you to discern that situation as a man. So I feel like men definitely got to take accountability and start opening their eyes a little bit more on the dating scene
and
when it comes to that.
I can't disagree with nothing you said. You know, and it's kind of a personal situation. You know, I was, you know, I've been that person where, you know, and I look at it me as me just being a good person ultimately. You know what I mean? Of
Yeah,
treating because at the end of the day, man, I don't disrespect. I don't do all that
yeah,
stuff, man. You know, so it's like, and what I've learned that's not common. So that's considered different to a woman.
yeah,
So you showing these different things. I think we all know where if you saw a woman something different, she naturally attracts to you.
yes,
So it's tough from a man's point of view if that man is that person, he's getting off this energy. You know what I mean? For him, it's just him being him.
yeah,
She might look at it as, oh, he want me or whatever
yes,
it may be.
yes.
And that kind of goes back to what I said earlier in communicating properly. You know what I mean? We can't be out here just pillow talking or whatever you want to call it,
That
or
too.
tell
Yes,
them what they want to hear. You know
yes,
what I mean? Because at the end of the day, not too much good stuff come from it. You know what I mean? And emotions start to rise, and that's when you get all the bad energy and be put in bad spaces. So I got that's something I take accountability on, and I will tell you, you know what I mean. Now in my life, where I'm past that anyway. But at this point, it's you know just being who I need to be and being able to communicate properly. So my advice to a man is like you got to be careful where you show your energy with. Like we go back
bro.
to the
Go
sex
back to
thing.
energy.
Look, we go back to the sex thing. Like this could be a whole nother hour conversation, but it's the sex thing is really a transfer of energy.
It
You know what
is.
I mean? So you gotta be careful what you're doing there, man. And no, all of our lives, well, at some point of our lives, I should say, or a lot of us, where we go through those stages where we just look at it as whatever it is, but it gets deeper than that. But I'll tell you this, man. Shit, I think we all. I recommend everybody go through that. You know what I mean? You
Yes,
go out there, live your life, and do whatever you need to do because you want to be 35, 40 years old still chasing something. You know
yes,
what I mean? So
yeah,
go live that, but be careful and be aware of what you're doing. You know
yes,
what I mean? That's my main thing is be aware of the energy that you're throwing out there, the miscommunications you may be throwing out there. So if you're gonna do those things, be straight up, be
yes,
solid, be upfront on what's going on because that's just what it is. But on the backside of it, I can tell you this: you can even do all those things. You can communicate it. But women, y'all take it as something different.
we know.
You know what I mean? Y'all can know what it is from the
We
jump
do. We do.
from
We
the
do.
jump.
We do.
But a good encounter, I should say. Let me talk right. A good encounter can change everything. It can make you delusional. where you see something that's not what it is, and you knew that from the jump. But
that's
where y'all gotta take accountability at.
Absolutely. And I speak on that a lot on my personal page. Like, listen, ladies, just because he humping don't mean he wants you. You got to know your spot in that man's place. You know your place in that man's life. But I had to tell a family member, he's just a guy. He likes to wine and dine.
Okay.
He likes to treat women with respect. But what he was doing, I told him, I said, but you're doing that with every chick you be with. Some chicks don't even deserve that type of behavior. So now you're giving these chicks this behavior. They mad at you because they thought you was gonna be with them, and you like, but I told you I didn't want a relationship. You told them you ain't want a relationship, but you taking them on trips, y'all sleeping together, y'all cuddling all the time over each other's house. You're taking her out, everything you're doing though is relationship stuff like you're building. So as a man, I would say if you just want casual sex, find somebody who's okay with having casual sex and do your thing, and that's that. But don't be building with a woman that's
considered building.
To women, it is. To women.
Okay. And I'm asking a question. That's women's side of it. Because a man may look at it as just being that's just an asset. That's just a benefit of you dealing with that man because that's his lifestyle.
Right, and that's what my family.
He might like to travel. He might like to do those things, and you might even be the girl he like to do it with.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, if he's upfront with it and this is what it is, you got to understand. You got to control your own emotions and say, okay, I got to do a better job. And okay, I can't get too attached because at the end of the day, I know what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Because again, go ahead.
He said that, he explained that to me, and I was like, but okay, I see what you're saying, but from a woman's view, for what I'm seeing from the women that he was talking to, I said, but I could see that they're getting attached to you. And I'm telling you, these people are liking you more than you think. Oh, no, they know what it is. So I'm like, no, they don't know what it is. Women feel like we lie to ourselves a lot, and that's on us. We got to take that accountability on that part. We lie to ourselves and we'll say, no, we don't want a relationship. We want to go with the flow. The whole reality of it is we don't want to go with the flow. So then when you find somebody that, okay, you said you want to go with the flow, he like, all right, bet, cool. He really going with the flow. You kind of impatient because you like, well, dang, he really finna go with the flow. Like, you really ain't gonna, you really don't see me as like being something more. That's on us though. That's on women. We do lie to ourselves and we get into a situation that we know we can't handle, but we really want to deal with the dude, so we do it anyway. That ain't really on y'all, that's on us. But the accountability on the men's part, open your eye. Like, I know y'all know how to discern spirits. I know y'all know how to discern faces and energies. Know when the woman want more than what you want and bag out when it's time.
But Brady, that takes experiences though.
Yeah,
that's something is learned over time. That's where you're dealing with because again, as the man, you might say you're just doing what you do. You know,
that's true.
And over time, if you see how a person may react and you see how hard it is to pull away from it, eventually that man see, okay, I got to move different. So it's kind of hard to really blame him if he hasn't dealt with it. Now, if he's been in experiences where he's done those things and attachment comes from the female and he see how hard it is to pull away, he continues to do those things, he like that shit. He like it. You know what I mean? So now you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I know if I do those things, it's going to turn into this. And let's be real. You don't got to do all that to fit in because that's not happening often. They're not getting that all the time. They're not getting these trips and bags and all that stuff. For you, that's just, okay, that's a piece of it. You know what I mean? It don't hurt your pockets, whatever it may be. That's your lifestyle. But you got to see it at the end of the day, like, okay, I can't do this with everybody. Now, if it's different if you see a future with a person. You know what I mean? I want to expose her to this, and we'll see what comes from it. Right. Because you don't know how it's going to turn out. Who knows? That might be the person you with or whatever it may be. But you got to be careful who you do it with. You're right. Well, we got to take accountability eventually on it, but it's kind of hard to do those things until we go through them. Once you see it, then you can kind of judge and say, okay, I can't do that.
Yeah, we all do have to go through a lot of things. I feel like experience and having these conversations, though, it's gonna help a lot of us. Sometimes some things we don't even have to go through if we're having these conversations. We see this is what y'all went through. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try not to go through that. But yeah,
that's easy to say, Brandy. That's easy because you can say, okay, I seen my mama go through this, or I seen my friend go through this, or whatever it may
That's
be.
true.
But
That's true.
until it's you, it's
That,
different. You know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
That's true.
So it's easy to say, "Oh, I'm gonna learn." I hear that often. I learn from you, watching you. No, then next thing you know, they're in the same situation.
Right. That's
It's
true.
easy to say that until it's you.
It is. It is. Safe to say though, that family member, he definitely learned his lesson the hard way, but he
I'm
learned
sure.
the lesson eventually.
I'm sure.
Guys, get your questions in. I got a couple more questions and we will be closing out. We definitely went over time. I'm looking at the clock now, like, whoa, we went over time. But yeah, get your questions in because we do got a couple more questions, but they will not be long, so we will be closing out really soon. So next question for you is: do you think family and friends hinder us when it comes to accountability?
It depends on who your family and friends. Um, I think me personally, I surrounded myself around the people who give me the real. You know what I mean? My one man, I call him my counselor. He my barber. I call him my big brother.
Okay.
Cut my hair since I was little. He gonna give me the real. You know what I mean? I can tell him whatever I want to tell him. He gonna ask me, okay, what you do, or
Right.
whatever it may be. He not gonna let me get certain things off him. But on the other side of it, unfortunately, some people got those yes people around them, or people who is gonna let them know what they want to hear. So I think it's that question you're asking. I think it all depends on who's around you. So you
Yeah.
got to mold the people around you to kind of help you out, because that's a part of your growth. Because if you got people around you that's not a help you. What's this a new song? Only help me elevate, whatever it may be. The no more party song, whatever.
I don't know
But
it.
oh my, never mind. But you got to have people around you to help you elevate. You know what I mean? So you gotta. It goes back to our earlier topic we were talking about, where surrounding with good people around you is going to help you do those things. Because I can definitely see if there's not the right people around you, they're gonna lead you down the road of destruction, the same road they
Absolutely.
probably on.
Yep.
So it's important for you to kind of identify who around you, what's around you, and kind of say, okay, I got to put the right people around me, so they kind of help me with that, because the wrong family member, the wrong friend, can have you all messed up out here.
Yep. Yep. I definitely agree. Guys, I have one more question and we will be closing out. If you are blessed by this panel or any other ones that you've tuned in and watched before, if you would like to donate to the brand, the Cash App is in the caption. You can always donate at your earliest convenience and bless the brand. But Brandon, any last words of wisdom that you want to give to the viewers?
I do, man. I think it's very important. We kind of hit on the topic of us getting right with ourselves. I know some big things I've been on recently, man, is just make sure, just trying to put the right stuff in my body, trying to drink water. I think our energy is really controlled on what we put it, what we consume ourselves with. It can be people, it can be the food, it can be all that stuff. So we got to do a better job of loving ourselves more than the outside world. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Taking care of ourselves and continue to give good energy, because all this stuff, the world we live in, the universe, whatever you want to call this, man, it's all about the energies. And it's like, by giving good energy, you're gonna get it. You know what I mean? So making yourself better, make yourself feel better. Because if you're walking around hurting or stressed out or whatever it may be, those can be passed on to the next person.
Yeah.
So man, just do a better job in looking yourself in the mirror, holding yourself accountable. Man, take care of yourselves. You know what I mean? I'm trying to live a long life, man. I'm trying to change up some habits I have. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Kind of help myself within my personal growth. So
Yeah.
I think that's a big one, man. Just make sure we're taking care of ourselves, loving ourselves, and give a good effort to everything.
Yep. And I always say, be the energy that you want to see, be the change that you want to see. It's going to start with you. I know it's only one, like all this stuff going on. I'm only one person. Yeah. But it's going to start with you. Your energy, your strength, your wisdom, everything that you can learn within your own personal growth. Trust me, it's going to shoot like a wildfire when the right person is around you. So don't worry about not winning the masses. You're going to win the masses eventually. But worry about
Mm-hmm.
winning the people that you're supposed to win. Y'all team up, click up. We gonna we gonna become
That's it.
a better person, a better people, just by
Definitely.
doing what we said, accountability and getting ourselves together.
It's it, because you never know. You know what I mean? You just never. You might wake up tomorrow and that opportunity may be there in your face. Who knows? So
Mm-hmm.
you got to continue to get that good energy, making yourself better and preparing yourself. Because
Yep.
I think at the end of the day, every day is about preparing yourself to get where you want to be at and getting where you need to be. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because I think we all got a purpose. So just continue working on yourself every day and building up. That's what it's all about. Taking care of yourself and building yourself up.
Yeah, we all definitely do got a purpose. It's just the point of some of us find it, some of us don't.
Right. I'm with you.
Everybody find it before that time clock hit. But
I'm still looking.
so those that are still on, those who will be watching later, if you ever want to be a guest, please inbox me. I would love to continue to have more people on here, especially men. If you know someone that you would like to hear their perception or something, you can even inbox me their name and I'll reach out to them. But yeah, let's keep this going so we can help break these generational habits, learn, grow, and become a better us. And in the meantime, doing that, we're gonna conquer these relationships, platonic and ones.
Hey, before I get out of here, I just want to say, man, what you got going on is dope. Keep doing your thing. I'm rocking with you. I got caught up on some stuff recently. I kind of went back and looked at some of your past stuff, and just like I said, man, I'm happy for you, proud for you, and just keep doing your thing, and good stuff gonna happen from you.
Thank you. I got the for some who can't do the video too, I do have the audio podcast too. So that's on Anchor and Spotify. I think we on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts as well too.
Moving, girl.
Yeah, so I want to be working out, you know what I'm saying? You ain't want to listen to the video, put the audio in, subscribe to the podcast as well. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. We're gonna end. Brandon, I will be hitting you up a little, actually stay on now.
Cool. Hey, but thanks for having me though, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's dope. I had a good time.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for commenting, and we will see y'all on the next live panel. So follow the page so you can stay tuned. YouTube.